Alright, dudes, how's it going? I'm doing this as a request for Claire, as a dedication to Claire. It's one of her favourite games ever. And it's a first-person game, so you know I'm all about the first-person game, guys. You saw my fear. You saw my fear. I am all about the first-person game. Everyone thinks, oh, TG, you know, is a little bit crap at games. He thinks he's a little bit better than he is and stuff like that. And at console games, hey, I put my hands up. I mean, I've played my fair share of console games over the years. I mean, if there's been a game out, chances are I've fucking played it. And chances are I've probably completed it as well. But I didn't pay attention when I was playing it. And I sure as shit probably didn't play it a second time. Here's an example. Secret Mana, my favourite RPG of all time. It is, without a doubt, what I would consider the best console RPG ever created. I've only ever played it through once. Chrono Trigger, second best. I've only ever played it through once. Resident Evil games, my favourite, without a doubt, my favourite survival horror genre. I've only ever played them through once. Well, twice now, seeing as I've done the HTSF fails on them, but you know what I mean. I play through games once and then it gets shelved and I move on to the next thing. I have very limited attention span. I don't like reinventing wheels, as it were. And you know that with me anyway by now, guys. I mean, I don't do shit by standard definition. So yeah, this is dedication to Claire. It's one of her favourite games and I've been wanting to do it. And thankfully, I can just about scrape recording Bioshock on the lowest settings. But even on the lowest settings, I still only get about 20 to 30 frames per second. It hangs around about 22 frames. And I get the severe suspicion that in some areas, it's probably going to drop to like 15 maybe, I'm not sure. I only played for about half an hour, just to kind of like, get the gist of what controls I needed to bind and, you know, give it a test recording. And it didn't run great, but it's just about playable. It looks better when I'm playing back the video that I've recorded than what it actually feels like when I'm playing. It feels like ass, kind of, when I'm playing. But it's just about playable, just about playable. And it's not Fraps that actually kills the frames per second, it generally just does not run great on my PC. And that's on the lowest settings as well. And this looks a fucking fantastic game on full settings. I've seen it on full settings, it looks fucking great. It really does. It won't look so great on my end, but you'll still get the game. So, there we go. So let's get in there, let's get something on. Continue? No, I don't want to continue. I didn't even save, so I don't know why it wants me to continue. Select the difficulty. Easy. You're new to shooters. No. Medium. You've played other shooters. Yeah, I've played quite a lot. I think I've played every fucking single shooter game out there. So that kind of linking in, I didn't really finish what I was saying before. Linking into what I said before, you know, like, I don't own the console games because I've either never played them or I've only ever played them once, and it was probably a hell of a long time ago. But this is the thing with my playthrough, guys. I like to play games and record them when I've not played them for a long time, or I've never played them, or I didn't play it a lot, because it makes it more interesting for me to comment, and it makes it more interesting for you to watch. I mean, as I always say, guys, if you want to see a speedrun, if you want to see somebody pro it up, you will not struggle to find said videos. For every single game you can think of, there is a speedrun. For every single game you can think of, there is a really detailed walkthrough showing you where to go, what to do, what to pick up. You try find somebody that'll not give a fuck and they'll upload their complete fail first time through a game. Not many. Not many. And that's what I said before, guys. I don't like reinventing the wheel. I like to do things by non-standards. So, I kind of, my forte, I have two fortes of games. I've said this before, I mean, it's not new to a lot of people. A lot of people know exactly what I'm going to fucking say. I have two fortes of games. Number one is online RPGs. I am quite the theory crafter, so online RPGs do sit well with me. I've played a lot, and I have played for a long time. I think my first online RPG was when I was 13, which isn't even as young as what some people started, because a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but a fair chunk of people did play it online. I didn't quite get into it online because I was still in the midst of my primary forte of games, first-person shooters. I am not the best. I mean, I consider there to be levels of how good you are at first-person shooters. Level 1 being the top, even though you think it'd be the shittest. This is just the way I work it out. Level 1 is the creme de la creme, the god of first-person players. These are the guys that were kind of born with the natural knack to play first-person games. They have the bloodlust, they have the aim, they have the mind and the intellect to play correctly. Not everyone plays like that. Some people just play pure aim, some people play pure intellect and they play a clever game. That's actually kind of what I'm like. Contrary to what a lot of people think of me Warsaw videos and when they play me in the community games and stuff like that, my aim's not great really. I probably have only like half the aim of a level 1 player. Only half the aim, guys. Seriously, I've seen and I have played the guys that have that kind of aim. It's fucking scary. It really fucking is. It is beyond this world. I do hold true to that. There is no other type of game that you can play that is more skillful than a deathmatch first-person shooter game at its highest level. There is no other game that compares to the skill involved. The intensity is just, I mean, it's just hard to describe. You have to give it 110 fucking %. Excuse me while I fire up a smoke to start off with. So where would I rank on that scale? Well, I won't go down the levels of players. Like I say, level 1 is the godlike player, the guy that was born to play these games. You could, one of the names that comes to mind is Fatality. He's not, I mean, he is easily within the level 1 category. I mean, it is something you might know. I've actually met Fatality. I've met and I've played and I've shaken the hand of Fatality. Took me a week to get rid of that stink. Nah, I'm kidding, I don't aim that much. It did actually fuck me over in that tournament because of the way they're going. I'll say that story for another time. But yeah, I met Fatality, and he is a level 1 player. But this is the difference, because you get level 1 players that kind of never practice. They don't need to practice. They were born with that natural knack to play these games. So they just show up, play the fucking match, destroy. And then you get a different breed, which is actually the same breed that I am, where they practice the fucking arse off, and that's what Fatality is as well. He just practices. Practice makes perfect. That saying ain't bullshit, guys. That saying could not be more accurate for every single aspect of life. Practice makes perfect. You might think you're shit, and if you've got some kind of born handicap to that kind of I do seriously think that people are born with natural knacks in certain areas, and if you've got natural and also you're born with natural handicaps in certain areas as well. Certain advantages and certain disadvantages in areas. Like I said, those kind of guys are born with natural advantage to the fact they don't need to practice. Other people, such as myself, need to practice. I mean, you'll see it when I play through games, guys. I go from starting off being pretty shit, and I probably get fairly okay near the end of it. But I guarantee you, if I actually practice, and if I go through that a second time, that shit will get earned. I learn quick, and I learn fucking good as well. So, as I was saying before, where would I rank? Not level 1. I am not a level 1 first person player, I'm a level 2. And, I mean, there's not... I don't even want to say a percentage of, like, how many, you know, the average out of all first person players, what percentage is godlike players? You might only say about 5%, but it's such a rough number, there's no point even stating a percentage. It's not a big number that are godlike players. And then you've got probably, obviously a beefier number of players like me. Players that will jump onto pretty much any random server on any first person game and destroy the fuckers. But then there'll be a level 1 player that'll show up at some point, from very rarely, but from time to time, or you'll meet, many times you won't even meet them on public servers, you'll only see level 1 players playing in actual proper matches, you know, organised matches and leagues and tournaments and stuff like that. But you'll give a level 1 player a good run. And with me, I'm not a strict level 2 player, I'm a base level 2 player. This is where the gears have come from, guys. Do you know, where I say I go into gear 2 and stuff like that? Well, this is effectively the same thing with first person and with levels and stuff like that. I would consider myself level 2 player that has moments of level 1 at times. I do have my moments of level 1 player, but the standard is probably around about a level 2. With moments of level 1, so I'm not bad. So here we go, hard. You've played a lot of shooters. It makes changes. This actually. Usually I get right in there straight away, don't I? And I ramble when I finish the fucking game or at the end of the set. I've actually